Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I don't know what Mandy said in Tamil, but this also works all the time. Distinguished guests on the dais. One of the biggest problems about speaking last is inevitably everybody on the dais who's spoken before you says everything you wanted to say. Namely, a certain Mr. Madhavan. My friend Chetan came up here not so long ago and said, I almost feel like the person with the least amount of talent on this dais. I'm the reason he said almost. When you are confronted with the kind of talent that we have on this stage, you start to feel very under-accomplished. But about, 7 years ago, 8 years ago actually, in the year 2006, my very, very dear friend Rajiv Menon was shooting a film that me and my now wife were working on called Guru. And I remember Rajiv telling me that you've arrived when you stand on the stage of Music Academy. So today I don't feel that under-accomplished because I'm standing here, Rajiv. I did arrive in Chennai this morning. So thank you very much for being here. It's an incredible honor to be here to speak to you all, especially on this occasion. Everybody has spoken to you about films, actors, directors, their dream, the vision, and how it was inspired this entire evening by an incredible young man. This entire evening is woven together through creativity, a brilliant example of which we saw earlier. And I just want to touch upon one topic which I feel very strongly about. I stand here in front of you today not as an actor who's done over 50 films, but as an immensely proud son. Nothing will give any child more joy when their parents are respected and you dedicate your life's work and energies to making them proud. Today, when we think about the wonderful talent that has been awarded, recognized in the past by the Gollapudi Awards, I think about what an amazing son he must have been to inspire the family to remember him in this way. And I think about that. I thought about that on the flight saying, wow, he must have been an exceptional human being for him to be remembered in such a way, for him to inspire in such a way. And I think I take back more with me when I leave tomorrow morning back to Mumbai. And I'm going to try and strive to be the kind of son that inspires the world the way we have been inspired today. I won't take too much of your time. Karthik is hungry. We talked about how all the past recipients dreamt. Being a true actor, Gyan, I really hope you dream tonight, and I'm in those dreams. My dates are available from January next year. Absolutely free, man. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It's a wonderful evening for Gyan. Many, many congratulations to you and many such awards in the future. Thank you very much. Good night.
Anevarkum vanakkam. That always gets the claps. Thank you. A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's wonderful to be back in Chennai after such a long gap. It's almost like I never left. But today is a little bit of a sad day for me as well. And like Abhishek very aptly put it on Twitter, we lost a little bit of our childhood today. Mr. Robin Williams passed away. The reason I bring up his name is because when you look at somebody like Robin Williams, and look at him as an actor, and look at him as the kind of characters he played in the films, you would not know the turmoil that he probably went through in the last day of his life. And they say that he committed suicide. And that tells you the kind of industry that we actors live in. I'm sorry I'm speaking with a little bit of a lisp. I assure you it's not prematurely celebrating this evening. It's just, I have braces on for my film, so it makes it difficult for me to speak. So just bear with me. This is a crazy industry, and most of us who are here are absolutely mad. And the reason we are that is because in industry, and you know, it's funny we call it one, is because it has 93% failure. There's only 7% chance that you will make money on the film that you produce or are part of. And that makes us all mad because it's not a good business proposition. But despite that, we in India end up making 1,200 films a year. There are still dreamers, there are still newcomers, and there are still awards. And one such, thank you. And like I said, I feel the loss of Mr. Robin Williams. And the Gollapudi family have taken that loss which they experienced themselves and turned it into a moment of inspiration for new directors. So that itself is a phenomenal gesture, and I'm so proud to be part of your family, sir. This moment and this evening is about our debutant director, Gyan, who's made a fantastic film. Karthik was singing one song from my first film. He just put in a tune. There was a bass guitarist who drummed that, and I could feel the goosebumps come up because it reminded me of my very first film, the very first time that I had to do a song. And I knew that time when I was sitting on the bike and Mr. Mani Ratnam was behind the camera, and I was telling myself, "You're nallabadi engineering engineer, but you don't have to go through the embarrassment," because Farah Khan was yelling at everybody. I just gave an award, just gave a couple of autographs to the people beside me who were not taking any autographs from me because Shalini was a star, but I got 2 people to take an award. And the next moment, Farah is yelling on the mic, "What the hell are you doing? You got 16 left feet." And that's the moment I decided I should have been an engineer, I shouldn't have been an actor. Well, thank God I stuck to the dream though. But I remember that particular day right now simply because I had set a lot of rules for myself then, which I didn't realize is going to be such an amazing walking stick for the next 10 years of my career. There are 2 people who've been extremely inspirational for me in this hard journey of 97% failures over the past 10 years. One of them is the father of a dear friend of mine, the other, the husband of Mrs. Suhasini Maniratnam, which is Mr. Maniratnam. And then, of course, the one and only Mr. Bachchan. I will tell you why. You know, the first thing I wanted to say was when you debut and you make a film, everything about the film, the way you release it, it's almost like a baby being born. And nobody there around you say it's an ugly baby. But then somewhere you let it out in the world and they give you these harsh comments on it. When I finished my first film, there was always anxiety, there was always stress and tension for me because it was my first film. I'd given up a thriving television career to come and do this in Tamil. But I knew that I was in the safest hands possible. There was Mr. Maniratnam, there was Mr. P.C. Sriram, A.R. Rahman, Shalini, there was no chance in hell I was going to fail with that film. But at the end of it all, I remember sending an email to Mr. Maniratnam and saying, "Mani sir, I'm thankful. I really am. I don't know how to say it to your face because you don't take compliments seriously, but thank you so much for giving me this break and making me the star that I have become after the film." And he sent back an email to me saying, in his inimitable style of one line, "I did nothing for you. You did everything you did yourself. So don't be grateful. Don't hide behind it." I kept that email. And I used it as an excuse every time that I thought I didn't need to be grateful. I thought, you know what? Yeah, this is what he said. He means it. We don't need to show gratitude in any form. And I tried to make him proud of what I was doing, the work that I keep doing. But even today, and this is why I'm bringing it up, Gyan, even today, my smallest of movement in the industry, the smallest step that I take, the smallest creative inspiration that I think I feel, I measure it with the yardstick of Mani Ratnam, and I think to myself, will he approve? would he turn back and say, you know what, that guy did a great job? Every step that I've taken since subconsciously has to be approved by my assumption of whether Money Soul will approve it or not. And I had a great quality to set for myself, a great standard, because I'm talking about the Mani Ratnam. In the industry that is ever changing, and in the times like Chetan Bhagat said, we really have to fight the Candy Crushes and the YouTubes and the porn videos to get people to come to the theater. You have somebody like Mr. Amitabh Bachchan, who seems to stand the test of time with the least bit of effort. And he, Abhishek, has been a huge inspiration for me from the time that I remember being an actor. The reason being, there must have been 100 times that people would have said the next Amitabh Bachchan is here. There must have been 1,000 times that he had gone home and thought, what am I doing wrong? And I can tell you, as an actor, like what Robin Williams went through, that there are many times where it looks despairingly hopeless. But then you reinvent yourself over and over and over again. And as a director, Gyan, that is what you're going to be doing. You're going to be setting yourself a standard of having won the Debutant Award for at the national level as well as the Gollapudi. And you will be then measuring every film and every creative step that you take, wondering whether that step is going to be worthy of an award like this. I wish you all the very best. We have some great inspirational people in the industry. I'm so proud to be part of it. And I'm looking forward to seeing more of your films in the coming future. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen.
I just wish to say a huge thank you for this splendid opportunity that Rajiv, Karthik and I to have to share music with you in such a prestigious platform with a wonderful audience and such esteemed guests. Thank you so much.
Okay, so you guys were awesome, first of all. Thank you so much.
It just doesn't get better to perform to a full house. Nothing beats performing at Academy with a full house.
Seriously, thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks to the Gollapudi family for making this happen for all of us. And quickly, thank you, Rajiv. It's fantastic. Jay, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be associated with you guys. And I thoroughly enjoyed the whole process of, you know, somebody saying a dialogue and then there's another musician playing and then magic just happens then and there. So we've typically gone back by 50 years and tried to relive the drama era. So I'm enjoying it and I only see it as a beginning for the musicals to come back and we're going to be at it. And the best sign is I think you guys liked it. Did you like it? Yeah. Can you say it a little louder so that my producer will sponsor quickly? Did you guys like it? Yeah. Yeah, just kidding. Thank you. Thanks so much. I'm hungry. A lot of you are hungry, so I don't want to go on and on. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys soon. Thanks.
Good evening. Some other friends and dignitaries on the dais. Every winner here was interviewed. Every single winner said they saw a dream. As a filmmaker, every single filmmaker in the country today sees a dream. That whatever he has thought, whatever he has written, one day that dream will come to a reality, his film will be made. Everybody has different names, winning awards, seeing that the film is a huge hit. And there are some few who are honored with an award. I think this is one award which every new filmmaker would like to have. And I congratulate the family for having this award. Gollapudi Srinivas Memorial Foundation, a young guy, 26 is no age to lose your life, but then the family takes it on the chin, announces an award. And I've been doing this in the last 17 years. And when I see the directors who have won this award, I think the choice has been phenomenal. This year there were quite a lot of films which I felt deserved those awards, but one guy here with a mop of white hair, he has a brilliant brain under that. And I've seen the film. It's an exceptional film, and the award was well deserved. It's been my pleasure to grace this occasion. And I thank the Gollapudi National Memorial Foundation for having me here. I hope it gives many young directors a chance to dream. Thank you.
Oh, hi. This is very scary for me because I think almost anyone who's been on stage today is more talented than I am. And I'm not being modest. Okay, these are the filmmakers, the music, my God, what was that music, huh? Totally amazing. Really good. Oh, they went away. Okay, so, and the other reason I am nervous is, you know, people call me now I'm Chennai's son-in-law. I guess you know why. And it took me a long time to impress just 2 Tamils. Now I have an auditorium full of Tamils who look like my in-laws. Some of you are probably my in-laws if we connect some, you know, family trees together. So please forgive me. I have tried. But keynote addresses are formal. That's why I had one vest like this, so I wore it. But I'm not such a formal guy. Neither I told you, neither do I have the high kind of talent. But I thought this topic I want to talk about is important because this is the philosophy of my life, is entertainment for change. You know, I am an accidental writer. Sometimes when I come to functions like this, I still feel, what am I doing here? Because I was working in a bank. I used to look after bankrupt companies. I don't know how you look after them. Basically, you try to gouge whatever money you can out of them. You threaten them. You go foreclose on their properties. And it was a fun life. And then it all changed for me. I wrote my first book, and unlike the musical you just saw, there was no 3 generations of struggle for me. The first book did the job, and I was definitely right place, right time. And 6 books, 5 films. You probably read some of my columns, seen me on a scary horror show called News Hour sometimes. Have you seen? It's not for kids, huh? They called me tonight as well. Arnab said, "Can you come tonight?" I said, "I'm in Chennai doing an event." "It's okay, we'll send a OB van to Chennai." I said, "No, I don't think Chennai can handle it. It's a little too scary." And you've seen me doing all these strange things. Right now there's a movie in theaters called Kick, which I assure you will never win an award. This one, for sure. But it's made a lot of money for the people. So I don't know, you know. And people wonder, what is he doing? Sometimes he's on News Hour and sometimes he's writing Kick. Has he gone mad? Now that theory may be correct. But this is what I'm trying to do, and I'm going to try to tell you what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to write for change. And I'll tell you where Kick fits into that also. And my goals have changed in this journey. In the beginning, I wrote for fun, and then I thought, okay, maybe I can be a full-time writer, and that'll be kind of cool. To not go to office every day and send your wife to work. Very few men here have that privilege, and I have it, and that's pretty awesome. But then the goals changed. My first book itself became so successful that people say it's one of the highest selling books ever. So what do you aspire to next? The first adaptation, 3 Idiots, became so big that people said there is no movie like this before. So what do I do next? And so there were more books and more movies, but then I said, this is not going to be enough for me. You know, I didn't feel it as much. So I revised my goals. Very, very few writers in this world have been able to truly change people's thinking. Few writers are able to entertain, and even fewer are able to change people's thinking in society. So I said, let me try and take that goal. And I do it through a 2-step process. I do it first by entertaining the maximum number of people possible. I'm an engineer, so I have a little mathematical way to go about it. So maximize the number of people I'm reaching. And if you look at the dictionary definition of entertainment, it is a pleasurable diversion of human mind. It is when people give you their attention on their own. You don't have to put a gun on their head and say, you everybody listen to me. There are two ways to make people listen to you, right? I take a gun out and say, everybody listen to me now. I bet you will. But you're listening to me now as well. And there is no gun. Because you're giving me your time willingly. And you give it for entertainment. If somebody makes you laugh, somebody gives you good music, you do that. That's the human mind. And from there, once you're listening to me, you might listen to some of the other things I have to say which have nothing to do with storytelling. And that is what I try to do in my columns, and that is what I try to do in my talk. I don't know how many of you know the literary community, but there is a huge caste system. It's the most elitist place I've ever seen. I didn't know it. I don't come from a literary background. I came from a banking background. And I am not a Brahmin there. I am definitely not even in the middle castes. They consider me a sellout. They consider me somebody who's too popular, who doesn't have. But that is not the reason I'm writing. The reason I'm writing is to create that change by reaching the maximum number of people, to pleasurably divert them and then hold their attention on national issues. The entertainment comes from books and films, and through the columns and the motivational talks I do, those are the things I try to change. It gives my work meaning. I am not trying for literary excellence. I don't think I can get it. But I think this is a great medium to create change. Change can come about in many ways. You can join politics, you can become an activist, you can go on hunger strikes. I don't think in Chennai people go on hunger strikes because the food is so good. Or you can do it my way, which is to entertain. So what is this change I'm talking about? It's happened at many levels. One is just the reading habits of the country. People had stopped reading books to a large extent. Youngsters had completely stopped. I always say my competition is not other authors. There is enough room for all of us. My competition is Candy Crush. For those of you who know, they are smiling. The elder generation like, what is Candy Crush? Ask your kid, he'll tell you. My competition is apps, my competition is video games, my competition is TV, films, everything. And I have to move the attention away and bring it to books and to change that reading habits. The other thing I'm trying to do is make people who have never ever dreamt of picking up an English book to pick up an English book. Maybe in the South English is still far more prevalent, but in the North it was non-existent. But today I have drivers, I have constables, auto rickshaw guys, waiters in small restaurants reading my books. I have a strange dream. I want every kid in India to read an English book. I think it is good for them, it is good for them. Which means every kid in a slum also can read an English book. I better be mine, of course. But it needn't be mine, it could be anything. But today people laugh at that goal. How can it be? Slum dweller's kid picking up an English book, but I will make it happen one day. And that is the first big change I will try to do from my publishing, from my writing thing. What I've also changed is the profile of a writer. When I started, people said, cricketer or Bollywood. That's the only way people are going to notice you. Writer? Well, you're listening to a writer tonight. So it has changed that about a society. And any society where writers are listened to is a better society. It depends what kind of writer it is, of course, but I think it's a better society. And there is more. Through my columns, through social media, through Facebook, these are very powerful tools for a writer to influence public opinion. Sometimes I've taken political stances, bold stances, sometimes they are right, sometimes they are wrong. They are just opinions mostly, so it depends which side you are, you may find them right or wrong. But it can create a lot of political awareness. We managed to create that political awareness to bring a lot of attention to issues like corruption, which never got attention. It's not like there was no corruption earlier. It's just that it rankles more in people now. It annoys people more today. There are many, many columns I've written for which politicians call, and then they say, why did you write this? And then they say, don't write this, young people will read this, and then they'll think I'm doing this. And there is influence happening at that level already. It wouldn't have happened if I didn't have that fame. It wouldn't have happened if I wasn't doing movies. It wouldn't have happened if I wasn't doing popular books. And this is why Kick came in. Kick came in because of this. I got to reach an India which I never could have reached. The Salman Khan fan is India, right? That is the audience I wanted to understand. That is the audience I want to change next. I want to reach rural India. I think the time has come for me to reach there, to reach the slums, to things like that. Every book of mine has some kind of a message. Whether you've read my books or seen the movies, 3 Idiots was about the education system, 2 States inter-community marriages, the next one, Half Girlfriend, is about a boy who can't speak English. It's something which I use as a very powerful tool within the context of entertainment. That is why I get rankled when someone looks down on the entertainment industry. I feel, how can you ignore? This is the only force that connects society. Even movies which don't intend to have messages can change things. When a girl asserts herself in a scene, when a girl dresses in a more modern way, when a girl goes to office in a scene, it changes society. It redefines values. And we have to understand the power and respect this industry a little more. I'm not saying everybody has to become a serious filmmaker or worry about society so much. But I'm saying this tool is very, very powerful. And it has brought me very far. And only with this thing that entertainment can create change. Many other people may have deserved this, and I want to thank you for honor of having me here. And I want to tell all the youngsters here, all the other changes I've suggested are possible that I have done it to a certain extent or not. But if nothing else, I hope I have created one change. India had become a land of hopelessness. People think nothing will change here. People feel nothing will happen in life. No dream is worth it. It's going to get crushed. It's not true. I'm not going to let you believe that. Because the day you start believing that and the rest of society starts believing that, then it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy and India goes down. But the day every Indian kid believes, you know, if I have some dreams, I'll get somewhere, is when my country gets somewhere. And every time you sink into that pit of hopelessness, if nothing else, you can look at me and say, this guy did it. He had a weird dream, but he did something with it. And that itself is change. And that itself is what we should all strive for. Let's change India. All of us in the entertainment business here, let us realize our power to change this country. Whether you are making movies or whether you are watching movies, you must respect this medium, movies, TV, everything, and you must give it the kind of honor it deserves. It is not just time pass. It is not just something you do when you have nothing to do or useless people do. This is the glue that binds India, and we will make sure it is used to make India a much, much better place. Thank you. Now, can I marry your daughter? Okay, thank you.
You know what warms the cockles of my heart is that Gyan and I go back a long time making advertising commercials. And Gyan, you know, had made this incredible film, and some of the competitive films were pushed by the biggest Bollywood names, and you know, but here, I mean, this film gets recognized purely on merit, And I just think it's fantastic. I've seen the film and I love it. And I'm so proud of you, Gyan. It's fantastic. Okay? All the best and thanks a lot for this opportunity. And I was really thank Jayashri for having joined us in this gang to do something crazy because this is her territory, Music Academy. It's just where she sings her deep classical stuff. And we're getting her to do Aja Ninda Jam. So thanks a lot, Jay. Thanks a lot, Karthik. And thanks a lot, everybody and the Gollapudi family for giving us the opportunity. Thank you.
Hi. I think Karthik is hungry and Madhavan is thirsty. And earlier yesterday I lost my specs, so I can't see too well. Okay, so I'm, yes, I think this is because of Srinivas and I keep thinking of him. For 2 days in a row, I've seen the rock he stood on and I think I've been there. I think it was, I seem to recognize it to be Rushikonda, I don't know. But I've been to that beach and when I was looking at those images, I had goosebumps. Because that kind of passion and that kind of dedication, I think you only find amongst filmmakers and actors and people in our business. And I'd like to salute him and everyone who worked and everyone who does work like that. I also think it's, I was told that the foundation sees every year's winner or sees their son in every year's winner and therefore the son becomes a part of the family. So I think of everyone here, it's fair to say I'm the most honored and I feel really, really happy. There's a sense that a director makes a film. Actually, it's a whole team that makes a film. Chetan, it's said that it takes a pen to write a book and an army to make a film. So I think I should recognize everyone. I must recognize everyone who's worked on the film, from my cast, actors, non-actors, technicians, and all of them worked on this film with very little pay, very little. My truck driver who worked in the film didn't think it was a film. And much later he came and saw the film and he said, oh, this is what a film looks like. He's never seen a film before. So I think that winning this award is so special because this is the way they'll get recognized. And when I go back to Bombay, I'll call him in Kutch and I'll tell him. And I'm sure that he'll be really excited for this effort of ours. So I just finally want to thank everyone here for being here, the jury for selecting this film, and most of all the family for welcoming me in this absolutely overwhelming way. Thank you.
Hi, YouTube viewers, please subscribe to Red Pix.